younger now, as you say. Good afternoon. I don't know about you, but are you excited? I feel so excited. Having met in this fantastic location with a well-known brand and a great partnership. I think we should be all excited about this. Today I'm here to talk about a success story. I present a partner who's demonstrated this. And I think it's no surprise that he was the one that showed the most and the strongest advocate for brand. Because in Dutylex, we have a distributor who's touched all the things that we've talked about. Focused on the customer, leveraged their assets in terms of their attributes as a distributor, and it was all about winning, which is what we do. Because when you win, we win. The key thing that I did before I called Peter to the stage was he invested his own money in the brand. When there was no chance, when he just went in there and there was very little chance, he walked the walk. He didn't come to Petro-Canada and say, Petro-Canada, give me a ton of money to do it. No. He believed in the brand. And that's what this is about. So in sharing the success story, I want you to just take it in and realize what we can do. Because I firmly believe we have a brand that can win, but we need to stay focused. We need to target those areas that we can win. And when you target those areas, trust me, we'll win. I'd like to invite Peter to come and tell us my story. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Thank you so much. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. Just going to tell a bit of a story before I started. I woke up a bit early to go on a jog, and then I felt aches all over. And that makes me remember when my son, 4 or 5 years ago, he signed for Fulham. And you know, when he was 11, and I was playing football with him, I would run with the ball, and he would never touch the ball. And he got to 13 and 14, and I will never touch the ball. Age is catching up, and that is something we all need to do something about. Anyway, my name is Peter Palm. I'm the founder of Dutylex, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to address and talk about our success story. So we come from Ghana. Ghana is home, beautiful country. People are always smiling. We have lots of problems, but you know, we smile. Yes, so we obviously the main distributor for Ghana, but we also touch all the colored zones of the map of Africa. And by the way, obviously, it's several countries, so that's obviously a lot of work and a lot of investment. Our journey, it's been an interesting journey, I have to be honest. My background is project management, so used to work for Big Oil, Shell, BP. But then 5 years ago, I decided I wanted to start something on my own, so I started Dutylex. It was just natural. Again, background is upstream, and of course, until I became a billionaire, I couldn't invest in the upstream, so I had to go downstream, which was an easy one to go into. All right, so we went into partnership with Exxon, so I started selling Exxon or Mobil. That went on for a while, did a bit of work on it. But my major break with Petro-Canada came from a company called Ghana Gas, and it's the major aggregator of gas in Ghana. And they actually had a plant that was running Petro-Tech. So, and it's very interesting actually to talk about it, because just as we talk about it, Ghana Gas is requiring about, well, I won't say numbers, a number of Petro-Tech as I speak. And I've been actually having a lot of calls as I sit there. So it's actually very coincidental, but that's very interesting. Anyway, so we obviously went in, delivered for them, and to be fair, we didn't have to put in that much work. I'm going to be honest on that. But I'm going to talk about where we did put in the work. Because of that, we decided that we wanted to, more and more try Petro-Canada and see what we can get out of it. And the more I obviously read about it on LinkedIn, the website, I just fell in love with the brand. So, we started asking ourselves, well, how do we become successful with such a brand? We were all over the place. We were obviously doing PCMO, we're doing mining, we're doing oil and gas, we're doing some manufacturing as well. But we lacked focus, and we needed focus, right? So we started looking into what we really, if we segmented the market, what was it going to give us? And we realized that there was a lot of foreign direct investment going into Ghana for mining. Surely, it makes sense. So we focused on mining. But then, if having the product was an easy one to sell, I'm sure everybody would be selling. We needed to do our homework. What did our customers want? Who are they? We needed to do all that market research to be able to identify exactly what our clients wanted. So you see that a lot of the relationships in Africa by nature is a bit close. So, and it's also family, and it's very difficult to break into it. So it was very difficult to break into some of the organizations we wanted to get into. Obviously, Petro-Canada Lubricants isn't that a known brand in the part of the world that we come from, and a lot of work had to go into it. Was stock available? There wasn't any stock. Most often, the mines want the products are not there, which obviously made us decide that there was a lot of things to do to ensure that we become very competitive. Obviously, we never produced anything in Ghana, so that was not a solution. Now the opportunity, and I think that's is something I need to talk about. It's not easy in our part of the world to have the possibility to sell in a structured way. In a way, it's very unstructured. And you have to know your local environment. You have to be able to identify who the clients are and try and form a relationship with them, which is something that we did. So in Ghana, and I'll go back to the map. I'm not sure if that, okay. The mining belt starts from the south all the way to the north, and it's more along the coastline. And so we obviously have to be strategic. Where do we plant a terminal that will be able to serve the majority of the clients that we had? And so we did a lot of mapping on that basis. We also identified Tapa, which is a major mining hub, as the main hub or the main location to place the terminal. And then we obviously went into market research. I come from a planning background, so a lot of planning involved, a lot of risk, but there was obviously a lot of planning that had to go into it. We did a lot of market mapping, what basically was our route to market, our USP, what was it? And we realized that by doing all that, and by the way, Alex's picture is there because our very first, no, actually the second site visit was with Alex, and that's why the picture is there. Okay, the solution, and that is obviously something that Sam was talking about. Without an evidence of sources, we have to invest in a terminal. We have to obviously secure the land. We have to construct logistics in place. It's quite considerable. If you obviously don't believe in a brand, you don't do this. And in truth, this is coming from years of working and saving, family assets that we have to liquidate to do this. But we did it, which is where the focus and the commitment comes in your life. That if you focus and you commit to it, you can do it. We have invested to build the image of the brand. So we built a lot of billboards. Since 2023, we've been going to Indaba, which is the biggest mining show in Africa. That's actually is the equivalent of the Mine Expo in Vegas. And then we also have been doing a lot of branding and advertising. I mean, all our vehicles are branded Petro-Canada. Everything is actually Petro-Canada. One decision we also took was not to engage in several brands. So for us, we do purely Petro-Canada, and that's all we do. Everything seems very good on paper, but if you don't have a proactive team as well, you can't do it. I can't do it all alone. And so shout out to my team. Thank you so much for all the support. I think it's great. And the result, we had identified Ghana Manganese as a business that we wanted to win. But because we prepared ourselves for, obviously, the sources, today we have a client that we have a very strong relationship with. We are moving more than 1 million liters. We are obviously into all the various brands that we have listed here. Unfortunately, not all of them are the hero brands. I think PLS is a hero brand. Yeah. And then the customer, they believe in Petro-Canada. So we've converted them, and it used to be a total, focused supply that they have. And then we obviously have a deep relationship with management as well. And I think that is a great story in its own sense. I am just blessed to be part of the story. But if I have to be honest, and of course, yes, we've achieved several wins as well. Ghana Gas, I talked about it. We do environment with the Ghana Port Authorities, and all the in-between mining contractors that we supply. But I just would say that it's great to talk about numbers and to be able to say we've actually increased our business by XYZ. But for me, the biggest sources is the fact that through an endeavor, we have been able to employ about 60 people. 60 people in Africa is actually a ripple effect. So basically, we are just not feeding 60 people, but it's got a ripple effect of about 4 or 5 families. It's actually giving back to nature. That's how I mean. To me, Dutylex has won the numbers, but to me, it's what we give back to nature. Thank you so much.